Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, wonderful, wonderful individual. Today, I would like to speak about redemption is never forced. It is not forced. It is chosen in freedom. You know, clearing and mastering and stimulating our own inner being so that we can slowly but surely mature in a healthy and also throughout our whole lives in relation to our body and our maturation of our physical form. Also, the more our physical form is starting to, ebb away and become weaker, as it were, your soul and spirit becomes even more spiritually powerful. There is a reason why there is different types of elders on this planet. You have the elders which have more or less deteriorated to the point of cannot comprehend anything, and on the other hand you have those that are with their full consciousness still, and they are as wise as can be. And that is because certain people have stimulated their inner faculties over their whole life, and on the other hand gone on an automatic passive non non-activity wise in our own inner being. So when I sit here consciously, I can take up, well, whatever your imagination, you as a spirit, you as the ego, is capable of producing images and, forming, shaping them, utilizing them in a spiritual and esoteric way so we can actually see reality in its true, living, divine way. It requires us to practice. It requires us to, first and foremost, relearn a lot of the things we have been inculcated with over time, that is more or less abstract theories. They cannot be proven other than mathematical calculations, and, mathematical calculations is very useful in a lot of areas. But when you take mathematical calculations and try to find the human nature and try to find reality through it, you will quickly come to realize that, you are only seeing it from one angle. When to see reality, you need to, I love this example. You take a tree and you photograph it from 4 different angles. Then you have the whole tree. If you see it from only one angle, you are one-sided, and you cannot comprehend what another person sees or feels about things if it is different from you. Now, if you are flexible and mobile enough within your own inner being, with your spirit, you are capable of understanding anyone. You're capable of going into their being, see what they feel what they feel, see what they think, and so on, and come to understand it. If you wish to misuse it, that is when you will have a lot of karma on your head. So it's immeasurably important to hold moral tact here. For if you don't, there is a reason why we say for every stage of spiritual development, 3 stages of character growth, of morality, of love, compassion. It is so needed for this power play and domination, and everyone's lusting to control and so on. They are puppets of Ahriman. Ahriman is, he is the Lord of Death. He is the Lord of Disease. He is the Lord of Lies and the Lord of Power. That means animalistic power. You are in a hierarchy of domination based on intimidation. And that, do you think that works? No, it doesn't. It might work in the hyena kingdom or in the lion kingdom. But it doesn't work in human kingdom. Because we are not animals like that. We have cultures. We have science. We have the spiritual forces that animals cannot even touch upon because they descended physically too early. They came down in physical forms before us, but they came out of us. They are forms we, human beings, shed when we were purely spiritual. We were group souls. You lion, eagle, bull, man. these 4 group souls, we were groups of them. But we had to shed these animal forms so that we could become human forms. And these animal forms became its own life down here on Earth. It is a little funny to listen to, but it is nonetheless the truth. For the animals are our less developed, older siblings. But they came from us. Isn't that? It is kind of contradictory in a sense, but it is not. They only became physical before us. But they came from us. So we birthed them in a sense. It will be the same in the future. Let's not use our evil sides, our scoundrel sides, our dark black karma that we shed over time, that we now transform and shed, will be physical forms later. Yeah. And you can guess what kind of forms they will be. Well, you can use your imagination and you will quickly become a little uneasy. This is the future. So, maturing, redeeming, ennobling, uplifting, and purifying our soul and spirit so that our body will follow in our next incarnation. This is the temple of our soul and spirit, the physical body. And it will only be physical for so and so long. We will have spiritual versions of this physical being. So we will have a spiritual vessel and an etheric spiritual vessel and an astral spiritual vessel that is not physical anymore. We have shed the physical and we reside within a purely spiritual body with our spirit, with our ego. In 3 new sheaths. That means the sheaths we are living in now are ennobled and transformed to their spiritual counterparts, to their spiritual ideals, goals, aspirations, so that your ego, after you die, you have still a body to reside within, just not physical. It is so that we do not forget ourselves in the gate of death. It is so that we can come under the Christ when we die, so that we can come back to ourselves in the next lifetime with memories, so that we can come back to the work, for we are fully and wholly part of this earth development, and we have been since the start of this earth, since the beginning of the forming and shaping of the substance of this earth. We are fully and wholly part of it, and all since the beginning we have created karma here. So, if you believe you came from another place, you have a lot of karma here. Why would you come here? To create more karma and shackle yourself to this place. It's all about really thinking through these things. For you cannot create a karma in a different place, in a different, solar system, and come here thereafter and believe you can have one lifetime on this planet and then not incarnate here again. We all incarnate here, every one of us. The more we get to take that karmic responsibility on our shoulders, that means not only our own karma, but the world karma. That is when we truly can connect to the Christ, Holy Spirit and Father in a conscious, alive and awake sense, where you truly feel that they are here for us, they are around us, they are within us, and there is no reason or need to wait to find out. It is not someday we will find out. No, you can find out today. You can start today and really coming to, not to a fully developed understanding of God and of the higher realms and the hierarchy, but you slowly but surely build it deeper and more expanded the more you do this. And your memories does not lie in your body, it lies in your soul. The more we awaken to our soul memories, the more we get to connect to the past lives and also moving towards the future lives that, well, we have the capability of going towards, because as we said, we have freedom in morality here. The more we immerse ourselves in moral purification, becoming more spiritual, loving, nurturing human beings. As we say, we have karma and we have flaws, so by no means is this even a close to perfect. But that is not the purpose. The purpose is moving towards it. And not just find every kind of excuses or any kind of explanations as to why we do not do this. We have 16 hours we are awake. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of these times we are more or less in a trance or in a half sleep. Maybe on the phone, maybe watching television, maybe daydreaming somewhere, and then you come back to yourself, what the hell was I daydreaming about? These moments is what we are meant to counteract away, to anchoring and to truly bring foundation to our ego, so that we do not become distracted like that. It is so easy to be affected and influenced by other beings when we are not here in our own inner body. Then we are, as I call it, a sitting duck. You are an open target for any spiritual being because you have left your spiritual protection, which is your spirit, from your body. You are not left it completely. You are just half separated from it. So any impulses can come in. You can go into a panic, you can go into a rage, you can go into anything. And that is why it is important to meditate and to hold that calm, silent steadiness within you. That is when you can know what comes out of it. As I said, practice, practice, practice. And it is about faith. For remember, what you see in the future is your today's reality. So if you see nothing in the future, if you only see destruction, if you only see death, if you don't see a new life there, you live for this lifetime alone, and it is not enough. Not to redeem yourself. No, no, no. That would be arrogant to assume that we can redeem our own soul and spirit in one lifetime. Now that is just silly. We have a lot to do here. All of us have. The more we can acknowledge that, and our weaknesses, but also our strengths. It is a balance. The balance between the black and white. Between, well, the beautiful and the ugly. The balance between seriousness and playfulness. Frivolity and duty. You know? It's the hard and the soft. The renewing and the sclerotifying. They are very distinct, these two beings, Ahriman and Lucifer. Lucifer is the one that wished to become a mist. He just wants to lose himself in a mist somewhere. That everything is coalesced into just one big mass. And it is abstract and not fully explainable. That is Lucifer. On the other hand, he wants everything explained in materialistic concepts. He wants to dry everything up and remove everything loving, nurturing, and moral from this world. And that is the spiritual side of these two. The physical side is, if you watch a tree, if you watch a mineral, the mineral always constantly breaks down. That is the force, the death-dealing forces of Ahriman, which we have constantly in our bodies. And on the other hand, you have the renewing, the frivolous, the youthful, the childlike. But if you do not mature past it, that is the Luciferic. You see? So it is the young child and the old man. Literally. But it is also the young child acts like a young child. And the old man acts like an old man without. If you give the old man childlike faculties and brings his imagination into an alive state, that is when you have balance. On the other hand, with the child, if you have the old man in a gentle, warm, soft way, guiding that child with his experiences. Now there is another balance. Both of them need each other. For you cannot stay an eternal child and you cannot stay an old man. None of these have balance. They are too extreme on both sides. So holding yourself to the middle is where the human being is where the Christ is. Soul, body, spirit. We are not a dichotomy. We are a trichotomy. And well, 869 it was a year of change, to say the least, where the Catholic Church literally changed the trichotomy to dichotomy, and it became a heresy to revere spirit. That is what we again need to introduce. So, introducing the spiritual, the activity within our own inner being, the consciousness, the aware, the builder, the creative. It's difficult to explain it, but it is something alive. If your soul is, as I mentioned in the last video, the stage of every sensation and emotions at play, your spirit is the perceiver, the aware being of it. And the spirit also can work down into it, if you catch my drift. And that is what I will leave you with today. My Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, my God, ancient masters of all, ancestors from every incarnation, bless, protect, guide, and love you. And may you be provided for with all that you need to survive, live, thrive, be creative and inspirational to others, so others can be the same if they choose to, in freedom. For freedom rules supreme on this earth. Either people like it or not, really. Some people like to be forced. I don't. As I mentioned, redemption is not forced. It has to be chosen in freedom. It has to be embraced in freedom. You see, someone can use any kind of means towards you, but if you have chosen, I refuse. Even if you said yes in fear, your soul says no still. So, yeah. Of course, I don't. It is about holding to that love, that faith, and to a trust that you are protected, guided, and are safe, and are provided for, and are inspired every day. And as long as you're devotional and reverent and humble and ask them for guidance and for assistance every day, they will come through. Oh, they will come through. But as I said, it depends on your inner morality, what kind of being you meet, and what you allow yourself to be tempted by. So, the Christ, He's redemption, He's compassion, love, forgiveness, warmth. He was the most gentle being, God in human form. Beautiful. So, yeah, that is what I will leave you with today. Oh, sorry. That is what I will leave you with today. A much more beautiful picture to end on. Thank you so much. Love you. Goodbye.